for...
Yeah, you can get it running. Start getting it running again.
I think so. I think so.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Oh, we can spend some perks. If I don't spend them, they actually get lost, so...
Oh.
I have to.
Might as well spend them.
Let's do something with loot. Let's have more loot. And we're back! We are back. Let's increase my hull. Definitely.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but no promises.
Spend everything. Yeah, if you don't spend it, you actually lose it. You can't save it up. Vampireist. That's quite a name. At the bottom there, 004. Alright, here we go. We're going to launch again. I think we're going to do normal again. Just because at this stage of the game, I think it makes most sense to just keep getting more credits.
Wise.
Oh, jumping suppressed. Oh, great. They usually don't hit you with that right out of the gate. They usually wait until later.
But this is so much more exciting.
Ah, mentioned that B-File almost did the Deus Ex Machina and Lorien. That was quite literally a Deus Ex Machina. You remember that? Lorien?
Yeah.
The ancient, super ancient alien character that you find at the bottom of the pit.
Yes. Yes.
I really liked him though because he was so
I did too.
an interesting character. And plus, there were actual consequences.
Yes.
That's the nice thing about Babylon 5.
Consequences.
There are consequences, quite.
Oh, now I want to watch John Wick.
John Wick?
Yeah. The consequences.
Oh.
Based on the consequences. The whole
I see,
third
I see.
movie is
yeah, right. Yeah.
not that I necessarily want to watch the third one.
It kind of makes sense to not to just jump straight into the third one. You've got to kind of...
I kind of think of them as one massive movie at this point. I don't usually watch John Wick unless I either want to watch just the first one or if I'm preparing for a weekend marathon.
Right.
Ooh, we should do that while we're home for Christmas.
With your dad, right?
With Cole.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
He hasn't seen the third one yet.
Ah. I do love that Sheridan just told the shadows to get the fuck out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he does.
Well, I like... Oh, excuse me. Sorry. It's late.
Ow.
I had an early meeting this morning.
Boosh.
I liked the big climax of that season and kind of the show in general. Wasn't a big shooting up battle. It was a conversation.
Right. Welcome back, Kyle. Sorry about the...
Sorry about the crash.
Yeah. You know, the humanity aren't the biggest superpower. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what's quite nice, is it's quite well balanced, and humans aren't the most important by quite long ways. Like, it's kind of like they get out there and discover there's a lot going on.
Yes.
Already.
But I like the balance in that we see societies that are past their peak. They are on the way out. Then we see humanity, which is still rising. Then we see
Now, how do I
Minbari,
go
which is quite a
backward?
ways past us.
The game has not told me how to go backwards. What? Well, exactly, and that's one of the great things, is that supposedly there are certain species that are on their way to being like the Vorlons. So
It's kind of implied that humans
will eventually get there. The Minbari are kind of most of the way there.
Oh, I forgot Oh, wait, no. I'm not going to say that because that would be a spoiler, and I know it's an old show, but it's a great show, and I don't want to spoil.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil
secrets.
one of the best parts of the last episode. I'll talk about the show plenty, but I don't want to spoil any parts of any of the really great stuff at the end. Oh, don't talk to me about Bester.
Bester's amazing. He's great.
Oh, God.
He's even named after a sci-fi author.
I mean, I hate him, but I hate him in the way I'm supposed to.
He's so slimy, though.
He's brilliantly
great.
written, and I just despise him. And his... Oh, God.
There's that one bit. You remember when he implies what happened to Talia? And he just lets it slip just to get them angry, because he knows that's what makes them vulnerable to
like
telepathic attack.
Like a Repentance. Oh god.
It's great. It's absolutely great.
Despise that character, but in the best possible way.
It's very similar to the sort of setup in Lord of the Rings, where humans are the youngest of the races. I guess the Narnia dwarves. Minbari are clearly the elves. Who else? The Vorlons are, you know, they're kind of the, what would you call them? The Numenorians. They're kind of the ancient ones. Like Sauron is a Numenorian. You've even got kind of Gandalf characters running around. Like Lorien is even named after the woods of Lorien, as in Lothlorien. Zahar-Doom is clearly Khazad-Dûm, right? It's a big cliff that Gandalf falls down. There's loads of little references there to Lord of the Rings. Yep. That's what Gandalf should have done. Just drop a nuke into Khazad-Dûm.
There we go.
I became Nukem Sheridan. Do you remember? Okay, so fun story. We met Bruce Boxleitner at GeekCon Long Island in 2018.
Such a power name.
Which was great. But he talked about lots of things from the show that were good fun, and also stuff from Tron and various other things he's done in his career.
What about his Western days?
Yeah, stuff about his Westerns, and also how he dropped a nuke on his ex-wife in Babylon 5.
Oh, I mean...
like that.
Spiritual
Dalek.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, the thing with the Vorlons is that they do kind of betray their weakness, which is that they are so advanced they cannot recognize younger races as fully sentient, and so they're too authoritarian with them, and that's why they're always telling them what to do. I thought they hammered that a little too hard in the climax. That was one thing where it's like, you will do as you are told. It's like, we know that's kind of their role. Oh jeez, go away. Look, just thanks, sir. Thank you. This game is very beautiful. It's a very nice looking game, I have to say.
It is. I'm just loading up a new stream. So I can go up and move
Yes, if you would.
The Great V5 gag. This is from John Smith. How many Centauri does it take to change a light bulb? Only one, but in the great glorious days of the Old Republic, hundreds of servants would change thousands of bulbs at a whim.
Hundreds of servants would take... Now, Peter Jurasik is an actor I want to meet, because he just seems like he would be wonderful fun.
He is
Londo.
Yeah, I know, but he's still around.
For now.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, good stuff, B5.
Oh.
Which is kind of why, you know, I said when Annalise... So, before Annalise and I started dating, full disclosure, I said, look, if you want to get into a really good sci-fi show... I'd showed her, what, 10 or 12 of the best episodes of TNG, or...
Yeah,
Ooh.
Because I was into plenty of other, you know, geek and nerd properties. I was a huge Doctor Who fan and very much into the Marvel movies, and which, you know... You're gurning over my talking.
I know, I'm gonna die though. This is very bad.
And you're gurning.
Go on.
Okay, I'm teasing. Gurn all you want.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
You exploded. No, I was just saying, I was already very much into a lot of sci-fi movies, a lot of sci-fi shows, but Star Trek had always intimidated me, and I didn't know where to start.
Yeah, so we watched like 10 episodes of that. I showed the best of both worlds. I obviously showed you Measure of a Man.
Oh, of course.
Kind of good entry points to the show. And then I was like, okay, Babylon 5 is the real shit. This is the best science fiction show I've seen.
And I got pulled in hard. Oh, I love that show.
We watched the whole thing in basically, what, half a year?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh god, love that show to pieces. I have never watched it through again. I've only watched it through that one time.
We watched some of the best things with Catherine and Joe last year, though.
We did, but I mean like sitting down and
Actually watching through all
for
of it.
me, it's not like Star Trek in that I want to dip in and watch a few episodes.
Right.
If I decide to rewatch it, I'm committing
Yes.
to rewatching the
You
show.
have to. It is meant to be watched in a single. It's not like you read a chapter of The Great Gatsby and then
Yeah.
just put it down, is it?
I've been in the mood to read chapter 5.
Yeah.
I like it.
When I was a younger and more vulnerable, in my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice. I've been telling over my mind. It's chance to judge a person, you can consider blah blah blah.
Very good.
I can't remember how much more of it there is.
Very good.
I don't have very many books memorized, but I have the first sentence of that memorized because it's so striking.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's kind of famous. It's a bit like it's the best of times, but it's the worst of times.
Yes.
You know, that's kind of. All of this happened more or less. What's that one?
Oh God.
Another somewhat well-known sci-fi author.
No, I. Oh,
It's on the shelf up here.
I know this one. Why am I blanking? Help me out. I know this one.
Cornell author, actually.
Oh. Slaughterhouse 5?
Yes, exactly. Full marks.
There we go.
Full marks. What's my other favourite first line of a book?
Best villain takedown, Lord Reefa's old school curb stomp death.
Oh, yeah! No, he got properly done in, didn't he? And apparently William Forward, I don't know why I remember the actor's name, but his name was William Forward. When he read the script, he went into the B5 offices and was like, why are you writing me out? And they were like, no, we liked your performance, it's kind of what has to happen. Like, this was always part of the plan, was that you have to get killed.
Which character is this?
Lord Reefa.
Yeah.
He's the one that's kind of...
I know.
His competitor. And he has a slightly bad accent.
Oh,
He's
God.
trying to do...
Slightly bad?
That will not happen. He's trying to do Londo's accent.
Slightly bad? No.
I've weakened our front line against the Taliban. Nibbled to death by cats. What are those earth creatures called? Long bill, feathers, go quack. Cats. It goes like fucking cats.
Oh, I love that.
And Veer, yeah. Veer assassinates Emperor Cartagia, who I thought was one of the worst actors in the whole show, actually.
Yeah.
I thought he was kind of... He's like, the shadows are going to make me into a living god! But he was just kind of doing slightly cartoony...
For bad acting, he was up there with, what's her name, Redhead.
Oh, Patricia Tallman! Yeah, Lita.
I'm sorry, Lita.
She's pretty bad.
She seems like she really enjoyed herself, but... Jesus, there's some...
Well, you know her secret, right? She was on TNG loads.
Yeah, she was mostly in stunts, wasn't she? She
Yeah,
initially trained
she's a
in
stunt woman.
stunts.
If you go and look, there's a couple of episodes where she does some absolutely amazing gurning. There's an episode of Voyager called Favorite Son, I want to say. That's the one where Harry Kim finds out he's an alien, meaning that he's being captured by an alien species. And Christina Loken is in it, who played the TX in Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines.
Interesting.
And it turns out that they're essentially vampire ladies. And they do a weird ritual with some, like, bedposts and blindfolds.
Kosh?
Yes, that's true. The man who was inside... Not the voice of Kosh, but the man who was inside Kosh.
Okay. Weird.
Would you like to go out on a date on Friday?
I mean...
In Kosh's voice with the kind of weird alien speak over it.
Forgive me for saying so. The voice of Kosh, now that requires some chops. Do you really have to be an actor to be in the Kosh suit? You're killing me.
You're an alien, Harry. Very nice work, Stephen.
Very nice, very good.
That fully got me.
That was really good.
That properly creased me. That was some A+ double meme referencing.
Yeah, do you really have to be an actor to be in the Kosh suit?
You can just be a man.
He kind of just walked slowly.
Kind of walks around.
And
Don't bump into shit.
Yeah.
With your giant toilet seat on your shoulders.
I feel bad for saying so, because I'm not necessarily saying the person in the suit is a bad actor. They might be a brilliant actor, but I don't really feel like they had a chance to stretch their legs.
Well, there's that one time that he's just on the ground You remember he
Yeah.
just falls over?
A lot of the times he just kind of stands there.
Oh, and once, so J. Michael Straczynski was one of the first writers of a show to kind of get involved. Oh, you do actually have to be an actor for union reasons.
Okay, for reunion reasons, I suppose.
You can't just be just a rando.
But that is an actor who sure as hell did not get to
Ah.
stretch their legs any.
No. But later on, once they reveal, so J. Michael Straczynski would use the internet to actually talk to fans, and there were like 15 of them on there.
Oh yeah, he had that forum, didn't he?
It was called JMS Speaks. There's an archive of all of it. I've read quite a lot of it because it contains loads of little interesting tidbits about what they wanted to do, what the original plan for certain characters was, like what was happening with Tamlin Tomita, who was in the very first episode, the beginning. She was originally going to be the traitor. Later on, it was going to turn out that she was the one that set Kosh up. And they never got to complete that storyline, but that was the original idea, and that kind of got changed into other things. And eventually, he invented the character of Talia, and also took certain parts of her arc and gave them to Ivanova.
I swear, if they had made Ivanova a traitor, I would have stopped watching the show then and there.
Oh no.
Ivanova is.
She's bae.
She is bae.
Ivanova is bae. She's a legend. Claudia Christian's fantastic.
Just phenomenal.
Blonde psychic lady with the... She kind of had like a Roger Rabbit thing going on with her hairstyle and the very sultry voice.
Yes.
She's like, Mr. Garibaldi, oh my god, like that. But anyway, once it was revealed that Kosh was kind of an energy being of light, and they're like, you can't poison an energy being of light. How, it showed him in the pilot getting poisoned by someone. How did that work, JMS? And he said, okay, full disclosure, what that actually means is that you can touch a Vorlon. It's what we saw was a representation through somebody else's eyes, and so they put their own hand in it. And so he shakes Sinclair's hand, except that's the guy with the changeling net, right?
Yeah.
That's not actually Sinclair.
Yeah.
But what you've got when you touch a Vorlon is that he does have a certain physicality to him. He's just kind of gelatinous.
Jellyfish.
He's kind of jellyfish-ish.
Yes, Ivanova was very, very early.
That is what... Yes. I remember watching that for the first time. I'm like, I don't remember this show ever being mentioned in this regard. Like, I don't remember anybody talking about... Everyone always goes on about, first lesbian kiss was on Deep Space Nine. Like, well, yes, but there were also... First openly lesbian character was Ivanova. At least in a sci-fi show.
Or at least in mainstream. You never know what they've done in some of the smaller things, but...
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Ivanova's character is...
Well, that's the lovely thing, is they hint at it so subtly in that one episode where they have to confess things to Delenn.
Which is unfortunately probably all they could get away with at the time, but they did everything they could. I think they felt like they could do, which again, deeply unfortunate, but they did it anyway. I
mean, they're sharing a room. Like, she has a shower at her little quarters.
I'm pretty sure they show them sharing the bed.
Did they?
I'm reasonably sure.
One of them's making the bed at the very least. Something like that's going on. Rick Berman was a twit.
Yes, I knew I remember them sharing the bed.
They did share a bed. Oh, okay.
I mean, when I say they implied it as heavily as they could, I mean, it'd have to be some pretty dang strong denial.
All right. No, it was great. Good stuff.
TNG was going to beat that to the punch, but Rick Berman shut that down. It was going to be an episode written by the guy who wrote Trouble with Tribbles.
Oh, interesting. I wonder who they would have done. So it must have been because the episode with the Jadzia Dax kisses a former lover.
And they did try to... I mean... I give them credit where credit is due, but they did also try and worm their way out of it a little bit by saying, well, one of them used to be.
Yeah, there's some kind of, which is interesting because nowadays that would kind of imply some interesting trans issues essentially.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting.
Well, trills are just interesting in general.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't want to date a trill.
Yeah. Well, there's a trill in the new show who's trans.
Yes.
In Adira Tal, I think her name is.
Oh, okay.
In Discovery, that is she's a, well, they are a trans trill.
Trans trill.
Yeah. And Discovery goes fairly hard in on that kind of stuff, which I think is fine. But just as long as it's not at the expense of actual storytelling, which I sometimes.
I was kind of under the impression that all trills were trans, but.
I mean, effectively they kind of are, because they can change gender every lifetime if they want. It seems like it doesn't really matter to them. They're just I'm a woman now. I'm a man.
The host.
It doesn't really matter to them.
Gels with. They were touring with Geordie LaForge.
Oh, really?
I think
that would have been great, actually.
I think that would have been really great.
I mean, let's face it. Like, Geordie had a fun character, but it would have been nice to have him have something a little more to do.
Yeah, and also just to have. I mean, I don't know. I think it would fit the character. They
kept trying to give him more development, but they sort of never did enough with it. Like the episode where he gets brainwashed and turned into a sleeper assassin. You know, that never got brought up ever again. Not once. It's like, what happened to all that trauma of him being turned? He doesn't remember what happened. And there's that lovely scene at the end where he's talking to Councillor Troy, and she gets him to remember. She's like, yeah, but the shuttle... Oh, wait. And then there's this horrible little sad thing where it's like... And she says, yeah, it's going to take you a long time, but we can get you through it. We want to see what the follow-up to that was, but unfortunately they just never got around to it. Because 90s shows just didn't like to do continuous storylines too much. I think Rick Berman also was very against that.
I admittedly have not seen any of Buffy.
I've seen a bit of it. Xander was going to be gay. Ah.
Brought up again in Generations. He's been kidnapped and turned into a Klingon.
Unwittingly. But they didn't really... Yeah. That wasn't pointed up as meaning enough, though. That wasn't, that wasn't like... Oh no, not again. It reminds me of the time I was kidnapped and brainwashed by the Romulans. It's like...
fuck you, Rick Berman.
Fuck you, Rick Berman. You were in this... Wait, that's not Rick Berman. What is it with Ricks? And they look exactly the same as well. Rick McCallum and Rick Berman look strikingly similar. Yeah, Geordie LaForge. I always liked Geordie.
Yeah, I wish he'd gotten a bit more character in general.
I know.
I liked Geordie too. I just felt like he got shortchanged a bit when it came to script.
I just love that he was the one that figured stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, do you remember that great episode where he and Ro Laren they're both turned into kind of phase-shifted
that was a good one.
Ghosts.
That was a good one.
And you have Ro Laren there who's like, well, I guess we're dead. I've always wondered whether there was such a thing as the afterlife, but here we are. And he's going, nah, come on. No, come on. Are you telling me I'm some kind of blind ghost with clothes?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Hi, Joe!
Oh, Joe, hello! We are playing some Everspace.
We are. You remember Everspace.
And we're talking about LGBT representation and...
in sci-fi.
Similar issues in science fiction.
I like what John said about how...
I know,
always making the blind guy the spy.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, you would think they would put, like, a firewall in his visor or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it always has something to do with his visor.
Yeah. He's got to get some slightly better virus protection.
Oh, God.
Welcome back, Joe. I know, twice in a week.
How many times... Yeah, right. How many times did they hack his visor? Obviously in the movie.
Ooh, credits.
Credits.
They use it to escape some problem.
The Duras sisters.
Yeah, the
Of course.
Duras sisters do it. I feel like it happens a lot more than that. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah.
Oh, they use it to emit a polaron beam or something like that in that episode where he's stuck. It's basically Enemy Mine. The movie Enemy Mine, but done with a Romulan at Galorndon Core. God, I'm just like a Star Trek encyclopedia. Season 3 episode. Do you remember this one? And he has to use his visor to kind of scan for something, and that's how they see. That's how they find the way to get back to the Enterprise.
Okay.
An episode which stars a certain Babylon 5 actor.
Oh.
Andreas Katsoulas, who played Jakar.
Oh, okay.
He's Commander Tomalek.
It's funny, I can't recognize him in other things because, makeup, but his voice is so striking.
Oh, yeah. Captain Picard!
Doesn't he play 2 species over in Star Trek over time?
I always thought he was just Commander Tomalek. He might have been in something else.
I might be thinking of another sci-fi franchise as well.
Well, there's Jeffrey Combs, who's in bloody everything.
Well, yes, but I'm thinking specifically of that actor. I remember seeing Generations at the cinema and being elated that the Duras sisters were in a movie.
Yeah. Bye, Joe. Thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Bye, Joe.
You can always watch this back when you later, because this will be on our channel. So, see you soon, man. Miss you. Did they kill them in Generations, or did they come back in? So the Deep Space Nine episode, I think, is set literally like a few weeks before the events of Star Trek Generations. So the Bird of Prey, they show up in that episode of Deep Space Nine. I think it's like the second or third episode ever of Deep Space Nine. That is possibly the same Bird of Prey that's in Generations, at least theoretically.
Theoretically.
Although you never know with Star Trek stuff. Star Trek's also, Next Gen is also the show which showed a space dock. They reused the space dock footage and just cover up the Enterprise A with the Enterprise D, even though that would make the space station like 20 times as big. It makes no sense.
For as much as we love that series, it is not flawless.
Why didn't you just fly into it with a ship? So, John Smith brings up a very good point. Why doesn't he just fly into the Nexus with a ship? Now, supposedly, Data says the problem is the ship tends to get destroyed and you get killed by an exploding ship instead of just taking it to the Nexus. But it didn't seem to do,
Couldn't you put yourself in a suit and just
float into it?
Yourself from the ship?
Beam yourself into it, yeah. Just approach it like a little bit, get close enough, get within transporter range, and then beam yourself into it.
The bridge.
Yeah.
Killing him with the bridge. Like, if you're gonna bring him back.
Oh, yeah.
Also, it's not a really great... I always was under the impression that this movie was sort of meant to warm people up to the characters of TNG.
As the movie characters, yeah.
Yeah, and so to see Picard bring back Kirk from essentially heaven,
right,
only to kill him under a bridge, isn't the best way to do that.
No. Well, it's the result of a whole bunch of compromises, isn't it? That's the problem. The main problem with Generations is that it's not really the movie they should have made. If you're gonna do, two, they've never properly done two crews team up. They've never really gotten an Avengers style, because that's what it should have been. That should have been the Infinity War.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, these guys didn't watch their own show.
But then the movie wouldn't have happened. You must remember that the movie has to happen.
I mean, the thing you have with Star Trek is there's always going to be reasons for stuff to happen. They've just got to make up reasons for stuff to happen. I wonder when my Star Trek hoodies are going to get here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about those.
I forgot you ordered those. Those will be fun. Hopefully those get here before Christmas. It'll be nice to have them,
Ooh, that's true. We can watch Star Trek stuff wearing my hoodie.
Get all warm and cozy.
Yeah. I remember when I made a big deal with TNG is on Deep Space Nine. Yeah, meaning they crossed from one stage set to another. It's a weird, forgettable episode where Data's dreaming. Oh, yeah! Although it does have one of my favourite fucking shots of the Enterprise D in that, which is the one where you've got that kind of, like, dreamlike spinning camera work, and you see the Enterprise D kind of swirling around in a nebula and stuff. It looks fantastic. That's one of my favourite visuals. It's not a good episode. That's the one where he teams up with Dr. Bashir to investigate something, and it activates like this. Again, something that's never really developed enough in the later films. You know, it's like, oh, you're turning into a more advanced being. You know, here you are. You're becoming more conscious because you're learning how to dream. There is that episode where he dreams about the miners ripping his head off.
Oh, yeah.
And that turns out to be a kind of subconscious warning about some little slugs that are eating everybody.
I mean, I know I want to be warned about some little slugs.
Yeah.
I would want to be warned.
And he kind of turns into a terrifying... He starts, like, stabbing Counselor Troy. That dream sequence where Counselor Troy is a cake.
Oh, God.
Just such bizarre imagery. Like kind of good on them for actually trying to do something sort of weird and surreal. I feel like there aren't enough... Outside of David Lynch, who gets to do properly surreal TV these days?
Oh, Bashir was so crap at the beginning.
Oh, thank God. It's you.
And the thing is, it was a double whammy because the character was crap in that he was extremely unlikable and not in the intentionally unlikable character kind of way.
Right.
And the acting was just good. But serious kudos to the actor because he massively improved and massively stepped it up.
Ooh. Now, isn't he in Foundation?
Is he?
I think he is. I think I saw that he's in Foundation as a certain character in that TV series. He's definitely improved a lot as an actor. I think he was on Game of Thrones as well at one stage. I didn't watch Game of Thrones because I didn't like it, but I was glad to see that. Oh yeah.
Alien species that was trying to take over the Federation, the one from Conspiracy?
Oh, the bugs, the weird little beetles.
Do not remember that.
That's the one with the ridiculous level of gore at the end.
Oh.
Where Picard and Riker shoot some guy, and he essentially turns into something from The Thing.
Oh.
It just goes like.
What were they thinking?
Here we go. Jarvis. I mean, whatever this one is called. Ah.
Yeah, the Bashir Garrick tension.
Oh, now they should have been Space Husbands.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been great. Everyone would have bought it.
I mean,
Although I'm sure some neckbeards would have
the number of times I see it posted on Instagram or something, Bashir and Garrick.
Oh, everybody's obsessed. The internet is obsessed with Bashir and Garrick.
For good reason. They are adorable space husbands.
They are. Ooh. Have to
it did
do some
take Garrick to
pacifying.
make Bashir likable. I think, on a practical level too, I think the actor of Garrick also helped Bashir's actor kind of fall into the role and figure out how to make it gel. Because before it just was not working.
Can I make some missiles?
I think Garrick both solved the character problem and the actor problems.
Just go away. Go away.
Just.
Oh my god. I think I fucking survived. Jesus.
I had to give Garrick a huge dose of the not gay having him have relations with Hip. How do you say the name again? Zayal?
Zial. Oh, it was the daughter of Gul Dukat, the illegitimate half Bajoran daughter of... Because you remember he wants to go and kill her.
Yep.
It's really dark, actually. He wants to go and kill his illegitimate daughter.
Well, the whole Zial thing is kind of dark.
But then he loses her and goes mad.
Yes.
Which you get the feeling that's not really genuine, because he's like, you didn't care about her much when you were alive, but now you're all like, oh no, I'm so tortured. But Gul Dukat's great. He's such an amazing character. Found Bashir and Garrick to be far more... Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That never really worked, did it? Because the whole point was that Bashir was never... You know, Bashir was into Jadzia, not Ezri. You're aware that Ezri Dax is...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Bashir,
I had to let Annalise know that, unfortunately, Jadzia...
We don't talk about it. I take Bashir and O'Brien over Bashir and Ezri. Bashir and O'Brien, I can't quite wrap my head around. Bashir and O'Brien.
The one thing I will say is I think Bashir and O'Brien should have stayed friends while Bashir shacked up with Garrick.
Oh, 100%.
Because you can't have both. You can't have a little gay love triangle there.
No, I
mean, I suppose you could, but...
I suppose you could, but
I just don't think that was actually in their character.
No, I don't think that would have gelled with the characters, but I absolutely think Bashir and Garrick would have been a great character development for both of them.
As much as I think that Miles should have left Keiko,
120%.
who was horrible.
I mean, again, I still think that O'Brien was horrible to her on several occasions, but their whole marriage was just a mess.
Oh, it was.
They were both awful.
Gotta shoot these mines, otherwise they...
That was the thing, they were kind of okay on their own, but everything about them together, they were just awful to each other.
Oh yeah, they just didn't know how to communicate.
No. It's like, I'm so glad you have a small child. Did they end up having a second small child?
Oh god, I can't remember. I haven't watched the later seasons of Deep Space Nine for some time.
I could be wrong about that. I don't remember. I mean, I did really enjoy the Bashir and O'Brien
oh no!
buddy ups, especially for their holodeck adventures and their dart tournaments.
Darts. Yeah, those were good. Oh dear. Ah!
Andrew Robinson says he played Garrick like he was always flirting with Bashir. Correct. Correct. That's as far as I need for it to be canon.
If the actor said he did it, that means it's canon for me.
We saw Andrew Robinson at Con.
That's official.
Also, apparently at Con, the London Con recently, Kate Mulgrew said, I know that you all wanted Janeway to end up with Chakotay, and I'm just saying, I would have been okay with it.
Nice. Oh! Oh no! Oh no!
This is going
Try to escape the Corvette. No.
This is going poorly.
You've got to get away from those things. They are bad news.
Bad news bears. I do love that Andrew Robinson actually had a good time because he got to actually act and develop his character of Garrick rather than I'm moving the comment now. I hate that it does that.
Don't know if there's any way to change.
It's not the biggest inconvenience. Rather than I'm evil.
Yeah.
Like all his other film roles. I don't remember that one.
Oh, that one's in season 7. That one's kind of a bad one. Not the best. Something weird happens. There's like a timey-wimey problem.
Oh, good.
And she falls into some hole and it ages her or something like that. That was another episode of Miles O'Brien Must Suffer. They just sort of took
really
that.
Just decided
they just decided
suffer.
because they decided he was just a human punching bag and that bad things would happen to
mean,
him.
it was just episode after episode after episode of him being
Like the one where he tries to kill himself because he's been imprisoned for like
Oh god.
mentally tortured. And I think he has to live with it, doesn't he?
He does. Because they basically said, look, it didn't actually happen, but we cannot remove the memories. Like, you just have to live with the fact that you have 100 years of memory that didn't actually happen and horrible shit happened.
And for something you didn't actually do.
Yeah. I will say that was not Keiko's shining moment because she was basically like, well, just forget about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not saying you have to know how to handle that because that is extenuating circumstances beyond anything they could have trained you for. But
yeah.
Just forget about it. Just get over it. Might not be
Doesn't
the best,
yeah, right.
You know.
Ooh.
Not
Now, the flat cannon is one of my favourite weapons in this game, for the reason that it makes big, pretty green explosions.
Oh God.
Mm.
I know. Suman says the episode where O'Brien met Rumpelstiltskin
Oh.
was meant to be O'Brien versus a leprechaun, until he said no, I'm not doing that. Good on the actor for saying not.
I
no to
cannot.
that.
You are. Oh my God! Really?
That's,
You are kidding me.
That's special.
Yowzers. Yeah. Some of that stuff was not the most well judged. The thing I like about the flat cannon is that it basically insta-mines everything if you fire at it. Alright, time to move on. Somehow I'm not dead. They really do.
Well, let's not even talk about up the long ladder.
Ah, yes. Well, you know that, where there's Irish pubs everywhere, you know. You know that classic Dylan Moran bit of stand-up where he's like,
They've locked onto me.
oh no! Oh, I don't like those. I don't like this. I don't think I can take that down. I think I have to just run. Nope.
Run.
I'm running.
Run fast.
Thank God it doesn't actually have a jump suppressor. I'm out here. But yeah, Dylan Moran. Hey! Some dude from America's like, hey! I'm Irish.
What's going on here?
Like, oh really? Yeah, my grandmother was an old Flaherty. Did you know her?
Oh.
There we go,
I
cutscene.
love that.
Cutscene.
They are copies. They originate from someone else.
Ooh, nice
He was
apple.
at the Fleet Academy. His name was Adam. Adam Roslin. Quiet, reserved, awkward around the others. He had a friend, Seth. They shared a dorm. Basic training was tough. Seth looked out.
They kind of look
for
like
him.
Angel and
He
Spike
stood
from
up for
Buffy.
him. The brains and the brawn. They became close, like a team. And then the
Yeah.
orders came. Deployment for war against the Okar.
I mean, clearly very sort of cheap and cheerful storyboarding, which I do enjoy. Close, you say?
Like a
Head cannon.
I had another vision.
Head cannon.
I think
my
I know
cousin.
my name.
My cousin lives in Boston. He says he's Irish.
Roslin.
Anyone in America who has an Irish descendant any point in the past 500 years says they're Irish.
I would like to help you learn more in order to understand.
This is a well-known
how this
fact.
Let's find some answers.
And then they use it as an excuse to drink. Whenever they want.
Do you need much of an excuse to drink?
Well, that's just it. You don't. So
If you live in Boston, it's like every day.
you don't need the excuse. So why are you drinking?
Oh god, the Marauders, I forgot how hard they were to take down. Big battle! Big battle time.
Yay!
Here we go, we're just gonna smash it with the flat cannon. Whew. I wanted really to get more than a bunch of credits. Yeah, definitely this game is best when I think the physics and the gameplay are on display. Not so much with the story. It's pretty thin, really. It'd be nice if it was a little bit more developed. It's sort of similar to a game I used to love for the PC called Tacky on the Fringe, and I've told you about this game. Oopsie! I shot the GMB by accident. Sorry. Sorry.
Very
That's when games are best. You get blown up. Bashir was mainly there to fall in and out of love every week.
Yeah, pretty much. He was kind of meant to be the heartthrob, and then they realized, at least at the beginning, that he wasn't actually that likable.
Right.
He gets much more likable.
He does.
But he kind of just starts as an absolute intolerable ass. You know, we can go hop.
Ooh.
Some advice taken this juncture.
At any other time would be better.
Ooh. Probably not take down the light fighter. They're a bit much. Alright, I'm gonna actually retreat a little bit. No. Repair my ship. Oh! Ow. Yeah, but look at all this loot. Look at all this lovely loot. Scrap. Ooh, scrap's very good to get. I think I want some scrap.
Yay,
Oh! Married to Nana Visitor, who was also at Con, by the way, when we were there.
Oh, yeah.
Kira.
I don't think we saw her, though, did we?
No, I think she was doing events elsewhere, but
Yeah.
they had a table set out for her and everything.
Wait, who was married to?
Who? Yeah, who was married to Nana Visitor?
Not Bashir, sure.
Oh, I believe they were briefly married.
Were they?
Yeah, maybe not for a long time.
I'm Googling it.
Ooh, a decal color. That's cool. That's cute. That means the next time I die, I can paint my ship poo brown. Very nice. Right, I'm gonna stay away from these guys because I don't think they are my enemy, but they're not fully aggroed yet. They haven't.
Oh my god, they were married for 4 years.
Oh dear, that feels like we're on this show. Let's get married for a bit, and then that didn't work.
Yeah.
That's got to make reunions awkward.
And in answer to why do all American shows feel that they have to have that character that falls in and out of love every week, I hate to say it, but I tend to think it's because they think that's what the ladies like. That's how you bring.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you bring in the lady audience.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm not gonna go on that rant tonight. I'm too tired. Another night.
Yeah.
Another night you will get that rant, but tonight is not that night.
There is a
Ooh.
colonial heavy fighter leaving hyperspace in front of
Uh-oh.
us. Be
Who's
aware.
this?
Okay, thanks for the warning.
He has a jump suppressor. This does not bode well.
Oh, I know, Stephen Allen. I know, but I think that's what they think.
But they were right. You're still
Oh my god,
alive.
it's my old boy.
I'm not
Oh,
sure we've
no.
been introduced.
What you did was unnecessary. Destroying it all. How could you? After all the efforts we put into our plans, you betrayed me.
Listen, I think you have the wrong man. I don't want any trouble.
I don't play the fool.
Well, you got trouble.
And I hate to
Not
do
White
this, but I
Stripes
can't let you
awkward.
get away
Yeah.
with this, Adam.
Adam,
Imagine it makes show reunions a little awkward, or
I've
maybe
seen you
they were.
before.
They're cool with each other. I mean, I imagine they probably have to be at this stage.
You can
Yeah,
drop
I mean,
the Amnesia Act.
they were both meant to be at con this past week,
Yeah.
but Bashir couldn't make it.
Ah!
Or no, was Bashir? No, he wasn't meant to be there this week. Sorry, that was another actor. But I have seen them still doing cons together.
I think I'm gonna get killed here.
Yay!
What can I do? Corrosion missile. That's probably.
It's raining now. The bathroom window is closed, right?
Oh yeah. Oh. Can I repair my weapons? Nope.
Ah, Bashir has a YouTube channel.
Does he?
Thank you. Always good to have a new YouTube channel.
Ooh.
How you doing?
Actually, not terrible. It's possible I might be able to make this.
Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud.
It's not impossible. Oh,
You
there we go.
brought this on yourself.
I did tell you not to say it out
Well, I
loud.
mean, I'm a clone, so it doesn't matter. I don't care about Harry Kim's love life. Nobody cares about Harry Kim's. Ooh, battle.
They arrived in Cluster 34, into a cauldron of hellfire. A war of unprecedented intensity. Seth Nobu was an ace fighter.
Looks kind of like Stargate
earning his
Atlantis.
badges quickly in combat. Adam Roslin was on the same carrier, cloning new troops for the front.
That's just mean.
The war was mutually devastating, but mercifully short. With an armistice, the fleet had to withdraw, but some wanted to stay behind for the spoils, new opportunities. Seth Nobu was among this group. Adam Roslin went with the fleet. Complying with the peace conditions, his cloning program was dissolved.
Naomi Wildman will be an admiral before Harry gets a girlfriend.
I mean, we do see their reunion, and I don't seem to remember Harry Kim being there with the +1.
All right.
Was it?
Mm.
Was Naomi's... I see Naomi's daughter was at that event, wasn't she? I think so.
You got
Remember
me.
The small child at the beginning?
You mean in the last episode of Voyager?
In the reunion they have in the last episode.
You got me there. I don't know.
Very good, Sumo. I'm reasonably certain we see Naomi's daughter. And not. Do you remember how quickly Naomi grew up on Voyager?
Oh, yeah.
Growth. I mean, Garrett Wang is
lovely. Harry Kim was a little bit meh, but...
Well,
Who's a friend?
In which
he was
case,
just a
next time
little
you could perhaps convince him not to shoot at us.
soft.
If only
Well,
I
he
knew
wasn't
my
that
friend
memorable a
did
character,
so
really.
No, he was kind
What
of
do
the
you mean by
puppy.
betrayal?
Yeah.
It appears that you must navigate Adam
Oh,
Roslin.
he's likable. He has a good scream.
He does.
He has a very good scream. Whenever he screams, it's great.
I mean, he was kind of the moral compass.
Remember when he gets like swiped at by a species 8472? I swear to God, he falls down and has kind of, he screams as if he's just been eviscerated. I mean, they kind of imply that being touched by species 8472 is insanely painful.
Yes.
Because they're so full of hate, they just hurt you.
I do kind of want to watch. I want to listen to their podcast of them watching one of the episodes where he screams.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's that one where he's dreaming and screams. There's the one...
Is that...
Ooh.
That's not the clown one, though, right?
There is the clown one.
There's the
Yes,
clown
the clown
where
one
he
where he
screams.
screams. Harry Kim is just there. Slightly more character than Travis Mayweather. Oh.
Poor Travis Mayweather. He did his job well, and then he...
I like Travis.
Yeah.
Not as much as I like Trip. Trip
No.
is great. Who's definitely alive, and
Yep.
none of that happened.
Nope.
At the end of Enterprise, he's definitely alive. We're
None of
not
that dumb shit.
we're not doing that. Alright, I think we're closing in on an hour. I think I might call it here. I'm quite tired.
Yes, it is a...
But this was fun, guys. Let's do this again sometime.
Indeed. I suppose that is technically up to us.
That is up to us.
Weird.
We can actually stop any time.
Huh.
Harry was being eaten alive. That's right, he was.
I mean, that is a fair reason to scream.
Yeah.
As those guys. I mean, I think that the clown was the
The
best
clown
reason.
was the worst, yeah.
I'm...
That was fully
I
terrifying,
was
that
gonna say,
episode. It
in
was really
closing
good.
notes, I remember that episode is terrible because it's so wild and out there and also clowns. But it was actually a good episode.
Yeah, we rewatched that recently, the Thor.
It was much better than I remember. It's just as creepy, if not more so than I remember. But better than I remember. Alright.
Alright, chaps.
We
We
call
shall
it
see you
here.
next time.
Indeed, indeed.
Until then, bye.
Nighty night.